What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with a new video. Now, no apologies. Well, it is apologies. I'm gonna have to say sorry for not posting for, I say, like a good 2 years, maybe a year. But I want to apologize for that. And also, I want to let y'all know the status of why I haven't been doing videos and not leave y'all hanging in the dark. The reason why I haven't been doing videos is because I really haven't had a right recording area space and a really place to feel comfortable in. That's pretty much that, but also just life in general. But other than that, also I haven't found the motivation to make videos. It's been kind of getting to me. I had that holding point. But enough of the apologies and stuff like that. I also wanted to say that this is going to be like I said, a new video. This one's kind of out my head. So for this we'll just get it up to like 20 likes, and then I'll make a part 2 if y'all really like. And also make sure to put your what if ideas in the video, and I will try to do those videos in my best ability. But yeah, let's get started with this what if video. The what if video is going to be, what if Naruto had Margarita abilities and adaptation / was it Uchiha? This is going to be an OP video, so part 1. So yeah, let's get this started. My bad. So we pretty much start off with, let's say, JJK, right? Now, we're going to say after the whole fight with Gojo and then Sukuna, after Sukuna lost Margarita and Margarita died, this is where Margarita's ability, or you could say the Divine General itself, didn't die. And pretty much, you could say soul or cursed energy went to the Naruto universe and traveled there by a certain figure, you could say, at least. But once that transfer over the server to the Naruto universe, we head to the Naruto universe now. Now we're gonna head to Minato, Uchiha. Yes, in this universe, some things went a little bit differently, and Minato, instead of becoming in the other clan, he became a Uchiha. Now, Minato will be the top, and all the same will happen in the original canon of Minato's life, all the way up to becoming Hokage. Now, he would be the first Uchiha to become Hokage. People are happy and all that stuff. Now, we're going to skip later on, and this is where we get to the Nine Tails attack. Now, this is where Minato would be helping out Kushina, the birth thing, and pretty much we'll be doing the birth. Now, as Kushina's doing the pushing and stuff, this is where the cursed energy of Margarita, or you could say his power and stuff, abilities, all that, will go inside with Naruto. Now, as this happening, this is where the same will happen. Kushina will be giving birth to Naruto, and this is where Naruto will come out, and this is where the difference will be happen a little bit. His hair will be black, but it will have white tips at the end that will show the Margarita, his ability. Kushina and Minato would look a little bit weird about it, being concerned like if it's a genetic deep birth, but they wouldn't care nonetheless and be happy for them having given birth. Now, the same thing will happen in the original canon. The only difference being is when Obito will grab Naruto and threaten Minato and all that stuff, and saying hand over Kushina, or basically telling Kushina to come over to him, or he would hurt the baby while holding the dagger close to Naruto's neck. Now, of course, he would make Naruto bleed and Naruto would start crying, but this is where the adaptation will come in. And since he got hit by not a dagger, kunai, he basically gains the adaptation of whoever throws kunais at him will not affect him, not even penetrate him. So when the adaptation hit, the will won't appear yet, but bear with me. Actually, no. Instead of that, it like when Obito basically, or the Masked Man basically try to pierce Naruto, it doesn't really pierce him because his skin is more tougher. And Obito will notice that and be like, "What is this baby?" And be intrigued. But nonetheless, the same will happen. The Nine Tails will be released, and Minato and Obito will have their fight. Minato will have a much more easier time with, defeating Obito. And instead of continue having to talk and try to figure out who he is, he hurry up and goes and go to the Leaf Village and try to stop why Obito, or the Masked Man, disappears and runs. Do a retreat. Now this is where some things will be different, and this is where Minato will use his Mangekyo Sharingan. And I'm gonna say with his flying Raijin technique, he basically appeared in front of the Nine Tails and put him under a Genjutsu. Well, not even using Mangekyo, he just put him under a Genjutsu to basically release the Nine Tails and, well, control the Nine Tails and basically help out Kuchina in the process. Now this is where I'm gonna have, sadly, Kuchina dies in this. Naruto will not have a mom. If you want me to change it, I will change it or redo it. But Kuchina will die in this. This is where Minato will be sad, but he will know what he has to do and hurry up and seal the Nine Tails inside Naruto. Now, this is where the Nine Tails will fully go inside Naruto, and Naruto will gain the same marks, whiskers, as the original canon. And Minato will be alive in this. Sorry about that. Let's continue. But yeah, basically, we'll have the same stuff. Now, this is where Minato will pretty much go to Kuchina with Naruto, and before Kuchina dies, she'd be like, "Let me see Naruto." And Minato will show Naruto, and she would be smiling, having tears, and she would be looking at Minato saying, I'm not going to make it, Minato, but I want you to promise me something, which Minato would say, yes, anything. This is where Kuchina will, tell Minato to make sure to take care of Naruto, feed him and stuff, and, tell him how great she was and stuff like that. And for Minato to not be in darkness and stuff like that, and to find someone else and not to be by himself to take care of Naruto, which this is then Kuchina will give a kiss on Naruto's head and kiss Minato one last time and dies. Now Minato will be crying in tears while holding Naruto, and Hiruzen will come, check out the whole thing, and this is where Minato will say Naruto has the Nine Tails. He's in Nine Tails in Cherokee and stuff, which all that would be so. The destruction of the village won't be too bad because the Nine Tails didn't do a lot of damage before he had the time. Sorry about that, guys. Had to change locations, but basically, that will happen, and this is where the summit will happen. Well, the meeting with all the clans and stuff will happen, and we'll have a talk. This is where Minato will address the whole thing and how it was an unknown masked man who had Uchiha eyes, which this is where Hiruzen will basically try to say, oh, so we have a traitor amongst us in this village, and we're in and it's an Uchiha at that. And this is where he will also say, and where was all the Uchihas at when the other clans was out there? Which this is where Fugaku explained that he had specific orders that it should perm the outer perimeter of the Leaf Village and in the middle of inside of the Leaf Village, which Hiruzen say that's no excuse, and it's an Uchiha at that who put the Nine Tails under Genjutsu. Now this is where Minato will, step in because he's Hokage and still alive. Says, enough, Hiruzen. None of the Uchihas are traitors. And there's people who can just kill Uchiha and take their eyes, especially a certain someone out there may have been involved with this. Addressing Orochimaru in the room, which Hiruzen would then be quiet. This is where Danzo, not Hiruzen, Basically, everything I just said, instead of Hiruzen saying that, it was Danzo. Sorry, Danzo, being quiet. This is where Hiruzen will basically step in with Minato and says, if the Uchiha was really evolved, don't they think the Uchiha will be exploiting the the advantage of the Nine Tails attack to kill the other clans and stuff and sabotage and escape? Which Minato will also look at Hiruzen about that, which the Uchihas will pretty much look at Hiruzen and nod at agreement. And this is where Danzo will be quiet but be mad. And this is where everything would just go simply the same. The only difference is the Uchihas don't have to move their compound outside the Leaf Village. Instead, since the Uchiha, they're not trusting Uchiha about it, they have them go a little bit more inside the center of the compound, where all the Uchihas have to be in the center of the Leaf Village instead of like outside or anything like that. So after that's done and the Uchihas agreed upon it, no argument, everything goes back into building stuff. Now this is where the Naruto will be growing up with Minato, and Minato would be a little bit more tough on Naruto, but not in the tough of making Naruto hate him. It's kind of like tough love. But pretty much Minato will raise Naruto and feed him and stuff. And as Naruto asks who his mom is, Minato will explain, Kushina was one of the best ninjas in the Leaf Village and the strongest. She knew how to do techniques and stuff like sealing chains and all that in her clan. Which this is where Naruto will be, admired by his mom. And, a little bit sad, but he will admire his mom. And knowing how strong she was. Knowing how strong she was. This is where Minato will say, maybe you might have a little bit of your mom's gift, the chakra trains. Maybe you can use that. Which Naruto will be smiling, be smiling and happy, knowing that he may have a chance of using his mom's jutsus as well. Now we're just going to do a little bit more time skip, and we're going to go stop at the point where Naruto is in the snowing event. You could say the saving Hinata in the snowing event from the bullies. This is where Naruto will be walking, and this is where, as he's walking, he accidentally bumps into it, will hit a tree with his wheel on top of his head. Yes, Naruto gets his wheel surely when he's growing up, and say one night when he was sleeping, it appears. And Minato will be concerned at first, which he was trying to figure out what is it, but he realized that it's not really affecting Naruto or hurting him, it's just on top of his head. Which Naruto was being informed by his dad that he has a wheel on top of his head, but they don't know what it does. But it's not effective, it's just there. Maybe it's a seal from Kushina, they think, to protect Naruto if he ever in danger or anything. That's what Minato is assuming. That's his theory he's thinking about. But enough of that. Let's continue. Basically, Naruto be a little grumpy that he hit a tree twig, or a stake you could say, but he wouldn't mind. As he's going, this is where the kids will be bullying Hinata, and this is where Naruto will grab a snowball and throw it at one of the bullies and tell him to stop. Now this is where the kids would be like, oh yeah, Uchiha? You traded Uchiha? And also Nine Tails, you demon? Which, this is where the village kind of went into a faction of side of people looking at Naruto as a savior, while some looking at him as the problem and a demon, you could say. And plus, as a traitor or a evil Uchiha, because the Nine Tails attack and the Nine Tails had a Sharingan, which Danzo will kind of mess up the information, make the Uchiha look in a bad light, and also have Naruto be hated, but it didn't work as planned, you could say. But pretty much this is where the kids will be charging at Naruto, which Naruto will be charging at them and be having a fight with them. Now this is where the kids will throw punches and kicks at Naruto and throw like stuff with rocks and at him, and it would hit him and it would hurt at first, but this is where the will do the ting, and well, the adaptation will, it will adapt. You hear the adapt will, but pretty much this is where he would adapt to all the attacks and stuff, and the kids like eventually stop hitting him and breathing, and Naruto would be like, "Are y'all done?" Which these kids would be terrified and be like, "You're a freak," and run away, calling out for their moms and dads. This is when Naruto will pick up Hinata. Well, give her a hand and ask if she's okay, which Hinata will be blushing and saying, "Yes," saying, "Yes, I'm fine," basically. This is where Naruto will carry Hinata and take her back to the Hyuga compound and all that, and drop her off and pretty much, leave her there, which Hinata would thank him and go on. Now this is where we later continue, and we're going to continue the abduction of the when the cloud representatives went to the leaf to like talk about deals and stuff and make peace with the Hokage or what the Raikage in the cloud, and the same will pretty much happen. And this is where the trying to abduct Hinata happened, and this is where one night Naruto was basically training in the woods, and basically was about to walk home until he sees someone's getting abducted. This is where he realizes it's Hinata and one of the cloud representatives or the peace talkers, negotiator, trying to abduct Hinata with another ninja. This is where Naruto will say hey and basically run and try to stop them, and this is where one of them would go after Naruto and says, "Leave no witnesses," and throw a kunai at Naruto, hitting him in his chest, in his arm, his shoulder arm, and this will hit Naruto. Now, this will pierce Naruto, and Naruto will, feel the pain, but this is when his adaptation will kick in and adapt, and he takes out the kunai and he starts healing back with his curse technique, which he's not aware yet about it, but it kicks in like activation. And the ninja will be confused at first, and then he will, proceeds to head with a kunai and try to cut Naruto. A katana and cut Naruto. Now this is where Naruto will dodge away but get cut by it, but this is where it adapt again. And now when as Naruto's dodging, he doesn't know he adapted to it. He's just trying to dodge, but when he gets cut, it doesn't cut him. It's not even hit, penetration to the skin. Now, this is where the ninja will be confused until Naruto will punch him in the gut and send him flying to the wall. Well, send him flying to a wall, breaking through the basic thing, the wall. Now, this is where the other ninja will be, freaked out and trying to figure out, what the hell is this kid? Until the Hugo will come in, Hinata's dad will come in and basically disable the other one, stopping him, hitting him all his chakra points and stopping him. Now this is where Hinata will get rescued. Naruto will run to Hinata, untying her and helping her, asking if she's okay, which she says yes. And this is where Minato will also come in and figure out and ask what the hell is going on, which Naruto explained that these two guys was trying to abduct Hinata, which he will realize it's the cloud negotiators that was trying to negotiate peace. And this is where, after that, Minato would grab them and put them in jail and talk to Hokage and send him a message basically saying is this what your plan of trying to make peace is? If so, then I'd be ready to meet you in the battlefield and take away your life. Which the Raikage will basically, apologize and say no, this is not a plan, and they basically work out some deal and they still have the peace going. Eventually they make the peace, but the Raikage has to pay a lot of money for what he was trying to do. But after that, everything goes the same, and we're gonna go with the pretty much the academy school start. Yeah, we're starting at the academy, with the Ninja Academy now. Now, things would be a little bit different. We're gonna just start with the beginning, and Naruto basically go in, and he'd be there early because he's decided, so he's there first before everybody else goes in. And this is where he sits down, takes his seat. Then this is where a second person will come in, and this is before Ruka, anyone else comes in. Sasuke will come in, and he will see Naruto. Now, Naruto and Sasuke is good friends just because, well, they're both Uchiha, and they've been training with Itachi a lot. Which this is where Minato asks Itachi to train, and Shisui, to train Naruto in some techniques and jutsus and stuff, which Itachi agreed, agreeing and accepting the order, and also Shisui, and also Kakashi as well. But they're all separate training. But pretty much Naruto is training with Sasuke too, because this is where, Sasuke always asks his brother for training. So this is where they met up later down the line with that. And Shisui as well. And Naruto knows about Shisui as well. So they basically, kind of training partners and rivals, you could say. So pretty much this is where Sasuke will see Naruto. Naruto will wave at Sasuke saying, "Hey Sasuke, right here," which Sasuke will say good morning and go up and take a seat right beside Naruto. Now they will have a little talk and stuff, conversations and all that stuff. And this is where everybody else starts. This is where Ruka will come in and says, "Oh, Yato here early. Here early." Which, Naruto will say hi to Ruka Sensei, and the apple will already be up to him because I wish say Naruto brought an apple, but pretty much he takes a bite of the apple and takes a seat and read a book while everybody else started coming in. Now this is where everybody takes their seats and stuff, and Ruka starts assessing, and that will be his academy thing. But pretty much we're gonna skip on, and we're gonna head to the part where they are doing the training fighting thing, where they do one-on-ones, and Ruka will say, "All right, everybody, time to have our training of our one-on-ones and stuff like that," which all the kids will get up, start going. And this is where they will be basically having their fights and stuff and all that stuff. This is where we're going to be having Sasuke and Naruto fight with each other. Now, they will put on the ninja hand signs, and Ruka will say, "Begin." And they start heading to each other. Now this is where they be fighting and all that stuff, throwing hands. And this is where Sasuke will be trying to throw punches at Naruto and stuff. And Naruto would be dodging, and he would get hit by some of them, but it wouldn't phase him because he already adapted to hand-to-hand combat, you could say. And as Sasuke is realizing it's not working, this is where he will stomp on Naruto's face and jump back, sending Naruto stumbling back, and would do the hand style and shoot a fireball at Naruto. Now, this fireball would hit Naruto, and Ruka would try to stop the fight until he realized Naruto's not burning or anything or screaming. He would pretty much be walking out the fire and just be like, "Is that true? That's all you got, Sasuke? Because if not, I'm about to show you something." Which this is where he would activate his... I would say this is where he would activate his 2 Tamui Sharingan. Well, one in the one eye, and then the second one and he would get 2 in his other eye. This is where Sasuke would realize that he popped his Sharingan, and this is where Sasuke would smile and pop his Sharingan as well. And this is where he would have his Tamui Sharingan as well. Now, this is where Sasuke and Naruto will be pretty much ready to fight and come at each other and start clashing. They will be going hands, and Sasuke will have a little bit more good in combat. I know, surprisingly, but he will have a little bit more in combat with Naruto. But Naruto will, like I said, have the adaptation will and stuff and the strength. So this is where Sasuke will back up and try to get breath. But this is where Naruto will go fat, run very fast with extreme speed, and hit Sasuke in the stomach, sending him flying. Now, this is where he would get out of the ring, and Ruka would say, "Game," and Naruto will run to Sasuke and give him his say, ask if he's okay, which Sasuke will smile and say, yeah, he's alright, but he said, don't worry about next time. He said, don't worry, there will be a next time I'm going to defeat you, which Naruto would be smiling saying, okay, you know, like that, you know? So after that, we just skip on and we go to the graduations because nothing really too eventful. Now this is where Naruto will be second in his class, which Sasuke will be first, and I'll say Sakura will be third. Well, not really. Sakura's not in third. Shikamaru's in third, and Sakura will be in fourth, and so far so forth. Now this is where everybody will get their ninja handband, and no one really failed. And like a fail, and you know everything will pass. Now this is where Naruto will be heading home. But before he head home, he forgot something in his classroom he had to get, and he went in the classroom, and this is where he hears Mitsuki. He would pretty much hear Mitsuki telling a student like, hey, I heard you fell, but if you could steal the scroll of scaling for me, it's actually a secret test, and you can pass if you can bring it to me. If you can steal it and bring it to me. Which the kid said, really? And I could be a ninja? Which Mitsuki says, yes, of course. Which Naruto realizes it's not no secret test and realizes that Mitsuki is a traitor in the village. This is where Naruto will, you know, feel like, you know, if he can handle this by himself, his dad will praise him and give him a reward. So he waits later that night for it all to happen. And that's pretty much it for part 1 of what if Naruto had Margarita's adaptation abilities and Uchiha. If you like I said, get this up to 20 likes, I will make a part 2. Other than that, see ya and peace out. And peace out.
Looks like you lost another one.